Good evening. Welcome to the forecast discussion for March 7th, 2014. It's currently 7:36 p.m. We have temperatures in the lower to mid 30s along the New Jersey coast with a little bit of rain over portions of southern New Jersey, mixed in at times with a little bit of sleet. Not much, and no accumulation is expected. Meanwhile, around the Philadelphia metropolitan area, away from the precipitation, temperatures are still in the mid to upper 30s. The interior is in the lower to mid 30s, and the New York City metropolitan area is in the mid 30s. Overall, we're still below normal for this time of year. Our temperatures currently are where our lows should be for this time of year. So clearly, we're dealing with a cold air mass, and this air mass will get colder with temperatures falling into the mid to upper 20s throughout the entire Philadelphia and New York City metropolitan area. Now, the good news is that the precipitation will be out of the area by the time that happens, so there will be no threat for any type of snowfall or frozen precipitation, but watch out for some black ice. On the latest radar, you can clearly see that precipitation is starting to exit southern New Jersey. It pushed into about Atlantic and Cape May County, back towards Cumberland, but that's about it. After that, it started to retreat as dry air is winning the day and keeping the rest of the Philadelphia and New York City metropolitan area high and dry. So any threat for showers is now pretty much dead from Long Island on south through at least Cape May. From basically Wildwood, New Jersey on south, there was still a threat for showers on until about 9 p.m. Thereafter, it's dry for the rest of the weekend. And this weekend is going to be something very enjoyable, especially after we've been dealing with all these bitterly cold temperatures. We're finally going to rebound to near normal levels. So, on the infrared satellite picture, you can see this storm, it's pretty wound up. It was pretty strong. The only thing that was really stopping it from moving north was the strong blocking that's set up over the northern Atlantic and over the St. Lawrence River Valley that prevented this storm from turning the corner and heading up the coast. Otherwise, it was a pretty dynamic storm that did produce some frozen precipitation for portions of North Carolina and even portions of Virginia in the higher elevations. But no worries, that storm is exiting out. High pressure is going to be in control for the rest of tonight into tomorrow with tranquil weather conditions. A little bit breezy along the coast because of the pressure gradient from the high to the low, but that's about it. On the water vapor satellite picture, zoom out and see all of North America. You can see we have a very progressive pattern here. Now, you know that because of what's going on in the Pacific. Now, notice we have an upper level low now in the Gulf of Alaska. This is the Gulf of Alaska. And so as a result, it's basically causing this jet stream of moisture to slam into the west coast, and that's going to dry throughout the United States, producing near normal temperatures. Can't really call them mild because we're going to return back to the upper 40s to lower 50s, which is pretty much where we should be for this time of year. Above normal would be temperatures in the upper 50s to lower 60s. We're not going to be anywhere near that, but kind of giving you an example of what is normal, what's above normal, and the fact of the matter is that we've been well below normal for this time of year. So as you can see, upcoming for the rest of the pattern through this weekend into early next week, we have a progressive pattern with no real strong storms on the way, but this disturbance here bears watching because once it moves into the western United States and starts to interact with the polar jet stream, it has the potential to be a major storm, not just a winter storm, but also a major rainstorm for the eastern United States. I'll show you that in just a moment using the GFS model guidance. I could have used the European model guidance, but to be honest with you, it's a bit on the extreme side compared to all the other models. So we're going to stay away from that for right now. That way we don't cause a lot of hype and a lot of hysteria considering the pattern that we're in. And by the way, as far as the pattern that we're in, this is what's called a generally progressive pattern. Yeah, we do have some weak blocking here in the northern Atlantic, but notice everything's just moving west to east at a nice little steady pace. There's nothing really that's cutting off or blocking up or starting to spin up and turn the corner anywhere. It's just a progressive pattern from west to east. So here is the latest model guidance from the Penn State EWOL website using the GFS model guidance from this afternoon. Again, for tonight, our storm pulls away. The region clears out with scattered cloud cover. By tomorrow morning, we have pretty much clearing skies throughout the region. and temperatures falling into the mid to upper 20s. For tomorrow afternoon, scattered cloud cover could be expected, high pressure generally in control. Watch out for those winds ranging anywhere from about 10 to 20 miles per hour at times. And temperatures are going to be rebounding into the upper 40s to lower 50s, pretty much near normal for this time of year. For Saturday night, again, scattered cloud cover can generally be expected. A disturbance is going to be moving through with a few rain and snow showers, but nothing really significant of nature. By Sunday morning, temperatures will fall into the upper 20s to lower 30s, and that is normal for this time of year. And then for Sunday afternoon, again, scattered cloud cover expected, high pressure and control for the most part, and temperatures rebounding into the mid to upper 40s. Again, overall, pretty much average for this time of year. Now, from Monday all the way on through Tuesday, we're looking at basically a tranquil weather pattern. A few disturbances passing to the north, but nothing significant at all. Temperatures are going to range from the upper 20s to lower 30s for lows and mid to upper 50s for highs on Monday. Then, on Tuesday, low temperatures in the upper 30s to lower 40s, high temperatures in the upper 50s, possibly even a few lower 60s in portions of southern New Jersey. There's a slight chance. As you move towards the interior, look for mid 50s on Tuesday. It's going to be a very comfortable and tranquil day. Now, a cold front's going to move through on Tuesday night into Wednesday. That's going to knock down the temperatures just a bit, leading to temperatures falling into the mid to upper 30s for lows on Wednesday and mid to upper 40s for highs. Now, here comes our disturbance. Now, on some models, specifically the GFS, this low pressure system and this disturbance is very strong and very dynamic. However, taking this into account, the other models here are a little bit more realistic with the pattern that we have. Could this become a major storm? Yes, if this disturbance and this disturbance phase at just the right time and everything interacts perfectly and this high pressure system is in a perfect place, yes, it could lead to a major winter storm, most likely for the interior. However, I have to stress, everything has to work out just right for that to happen. Now, the European model guidance, and I'll show you it in a second if you got a second. We'll go right to the European guidance. We'll pull it right up for you. Go to 12Z. Okay, so here's our European model guidance for the same time period. And notice what it does here. It takes this disturbance and this disturbance and phases it into one large storm. One very nasty one at that. Here, let's zoom in on that. Down to 992 millibars. I don't think this is likely. I'm being really cautious here. This is the worst case scenario. The European model guidance is the worst case scenario out of all the models. And so naturally everyone's picking up on it, on your social weather feeds, and everyone making declarative statements about the blizzard of 93 back in March and so on and so forth. If everything works out just right, then this solution can happen. But I have to stress, again, this disturbance has to phase with this disturbance. Meanwhile, this disturbance can't disrupt the interaction of these two disturbances. Oh, and by the way, this disturbance can't move too fast. This ridge has to be just like this in order to allow for the deepening of this trough and the interaction to happen just at the right time. And by the way, the polar vortex has to be in just the right position to allow this interaction without suppressing everything. So you see how everything kind of has to work together. Let me show you the Canadian model guidance. This is kind of what I do when I'm forecasting. Let me take a look at the different scenarios here and what makes sense. So on the Canadian model guidance, again, it kind of shows the same type of setup, but far less amplified, and basically is showing, yeah, there's some interaction, but it's not a monster storm. It's just a moderate storm, okay? So my point here is that the European model guidance is the worst case scenario for Wednesday night into Thursday. Right now, looking at temperatures, on Thursday morning, temperatures are in the upper 20s to lower 30s. So yes, there's a threat for frozen precipitation even down to the coast, but high temperatures rebound into the upper 30s to lower 40s along the coast and mid-30s over the interior. So if anything, this looks like a storm potential. That looks like it's going to maybe start off with snow, changing over to rain along the coast. More of a snow mix type of event over the interior. There's a lot to work out here, but I wanted to show you that while you might be hearing quite a bit about a model guide showing a major winter storm, I just showed you three major models that showed three totally different solutions. The GFS, which is generally benign, we'll go back to that in a second. The European model guidance, which was amplified to like a major, almost, I don't want to say historic, but a very impressive storm, okay? And then the Canadian model guidance, which is kind of in between there, with a moderate storm, but not record breaking in any way, shape, or form. So again, here is the GFS solution, which is a bit flatter because it don't have that full phase going on. And I know everyone's seeing 850 millibar temperatures below freezing, but remember this is mid-March, and so that translates more to upper 30s and lower 40s. So you end up with more of a rain-snow mix along the coast. So a lot to work out here for the middle and end of next week. And then every model agrees that everything clears out on Friday with high pressure and control and temperatures remaining below normal in the upper teens to lower 20s for lows and upper 30s to lower 40s for highs. So enjoy this weekend. It's going to be an absolutely beautiful weekend. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to go out, have some fun. I suggest you do the same. The start of next week, rather comfortable and nice. And then the end of next week, especially Wednesday night through Thursday, is going to be rather stormy. The question is, what's going to develop exactly as far as the intensity of the low pressure system, where's the track, and of course, what type of precipitation will be falling in your neck of the woods. All that, well, we have all that time to work everything out. So don't jump ahead. Don't get worried. Don't go out and buy 10 gallons of milk. We have time to watch it and see exactly what exactly is going to evolve over the next several days. Of course, I'm your meteorologist, Stephen DiMartino. Follow the latest weather information at nynjpaweather.com and nynjpaweather on Twitter, Facebook, Google+, LinkedIn, and The Patch. Have a wonderful night, and as always, stay safe out there.